I was a prosecutor for 15 years, and so often when I look at systems, we see outcomes that are not good for our communities. We see a system that's overwhelmed and burdened by mental health challenges and addiction, and for far too long, our solution has been to incarcerate people. It is ineffective, it is expensive, and I think we could do better. Justice Innovation Lab is a group of former prosecutors and data scientists and design thinkers who work with justice system decision makers to make our system more fair and effective. We usually have a three-pronged approach: people, place, and problem. That's how we choose where to work. And Memphis had all three: strong leadership, community resources that were available, and some serious problems.
We had been sort of the national poster child for mass incarceration, and the whole time had ever-rising crime rates. So if we're going to do reform, we're going to need to figure out exactly what we're doing, what's working and what's not, and how to measure that going forward so we can constantly course correct.
We bring a unique set of actors to the table, people who can look at the numbers, crunch the numbers, but who are also very familiar with how systems work, so that we can find the levers that are within our power to change to get better outcomes.
Pretty much every prosecutor in my office that isn't in court or out of town is here. We spent an intensive couple of days figuring out what we want to measure, how we're going to measure it, and how we're going to use that to improve our office's function in terms of being fair, being effective, and being efficient.
For many years, we haven't collected information on how our system is working. We don't know basic information about how many people are arrested every year and what the outcomes are, who is incarcerated for how long.
Do we have any way of really figuring out what the downstream effects are of our court decisions? Are they actually helping things or not? And that brings us to data.
We now have access to so much data, and it seems wasteful not to use our access to that data. If we can provide justice and dispose of cases more quickly, that's good for victims, it's good for defendants, it's good for the people of Shelby County.
We incorporate different voices from the community, both those of law enforcement, but people who are most impacted by the decisions. That could be victims of crimes, that could be people who are formerly incarcerated, that could be community members who are just concerned about public safety.
This line of work impacts everybody in this community. Even if you're somebody who never comes in contact with the criminal justice system, your day-to-day life will be impacted with how the criminal justice system in your community works.
I served nearly 26 years in the Tennessee Department of Corrections. So the only time I've ever been around prosecutors in the courtroom, just being able to dialogue and seeing it through their lens, and then they seeing certain things through my lens, I'm excited about it.
We want to provide a voice for the voiceless. That's why I'm here. I want to provide the most powerful people in the courtroom a perspective, an alternative solution to incarceration.
I've been coming in and going in and out of 201 Poplar for 40 years. Actually breaking out and talking to defendants, that has never happened before in the district attorney's office. It's wonderful to have that happening because it opened my eyes so much.
It's an era of change I've never seen in 15 years.
Everybody has thought that this week has just been excellent. To take the time to sit down and think about, hey, how can we do things better? Let's not come at it with what we did before was wrong, but just how can we reimagine what we're doing to make better decisions?
Are we getting better? Are we learning something new? Our system has been broken for a really long time. If we can do better, then it's a victory.
I think we're on the edge of really what could be a revolution in the way we look at the justice system.